We're on Oholot, Perek Vav, Mishnah Aleph, first Mishnah in the 6th chapter of Masechet Oholot. So we're going to talk about general rules of Oholot. This is something that's very important, very basic. Again, I don't know why the order of the Mishnah are ordered in this way, but these are like somewhat fundamental rules about how an Ohel works. It says the Mishnah, Adam v'kelim na'asin ohalin l'tameh avalo l'taher. Okay, an Adam, a person or a Kli, they can become the foundation of an Ohel l'tameh, to become mitameh, avalo l'taher. Because remember what we said? We said in the last Mishnah, just as I said the last Mishnah, I'll just show you the picture that we learned before. We're going to talk about what happens when people are doing it. But if you have like this beam, remember we saw this beam? So this beam is an Ohel. A structure is Ohel is a structure connected to the ground generally, where you have walls, right? You have any kinds of walls and a kind of roof. Okay, but what happens though, the Mishnah says, if it's a human roof, if you have human walls, like a chuppah or whatever, like they're holding on, if it's an Adam, a person, or a Kli. Think about a chuppah. A chuppah is like 4 stands, right? It's not connected to the ground. Okay, you have a vessel. So you have people holding this thing and making sort of a makeshift Ohel, and you have tumah on the bottom, tumah under it. So the Mishnah says, yes, Adam or Kelim, if people or vessels, they can be Ohel in the Tameh, avalo l'taher. It can create an Ohel to spread tumah, but it's not an Ohel that's chotzetz, that interrupts before tumah. Let's look at the Bartanura for a second. Ohel shenismach al yedei adam ohel yedei kelim, an Ohel, a structure that is nismach, leaning on, or constructed by people or vessels. Nechshav Ohel l'tamei kelim shatachtav. It is considered an Ohel in order to defile kelim under it. Afilu shelo geneged hatuma, even not corresponding to the tumah. Ki'ilu nitudim ba'ol ameh, as if they are in the Ohel ameh. Avalo l'taher, they cannot purify. Remember we said an Ohel normally, not only does it, if you have a structure, not only does it spread the tumah, it stops the tumah from what's above it. So this is an Ohel to spread the tumah, but not to stop it. Ketzad. 4 people carrying nidvach. The Bartanura says nidvach is even gdola ruchava, a big wide stone. Okay, so they're carrying this huge wide stone. Tumah tachdav, if there's tumah under it. Kelim she'al gabav tameim. The kelim on top of it are tameh. Tumah al gabav, kelim shetachtav tameim. If there's tumah on top of it, then the kelim under it are also tameh. Rabbi Eliezer mitahor. Rabbi Eliezer says tahor. So now, if you have tumah under it, right? The kelim under it. It's very interesting. So the Bartanura doesn't imply this. The Bartanura doesn't talk about it. He says, but what about, is it tumah only right over it, or tumah all around it? So he quotes over here, Raposan quotes a Tosfot Yom Tov, who seems to imply, or says directly, that it's talking about tumah all on top of the nidvach. Why? Because if you have tumah under it, the tumah spreads obviously under it. That's fine. All the kelim under it spread. It's an ohel. But once the tumah is over it, so does the question, once that spreads, does that rise all across the nidvach? So in the Mar Chaim that I quote you all the time now, he says it's a machloket. It's a huge machloket. Meaning some opinions say no, even though it's not chotzetz, it's only not chotzetz right over here, directly where the tumah is. I think he has, I don't know if he shows it, but directly where the tumah is. Whereas, like if a kli was here, not directly under the tumah, it would not become tameh. That's a huge machloket. The Bartanura is actually not clear. He kind of plays it both sides. So, kelim shetachtav tameim, Rabbi Eliezer mitaher. If it's tumah al gabar, Rabbi Eliezer says that it is. Rabbi Eliezer disagrees with the Tanakama and says no, it's an Ohel for all things, and it is chotzetz. Let's look at the Bartanura bitravai. Rabbi Eliezer is mitaher. Why? Disavar holds naaseh Ohel l'taher v'chotzetz b'nei tumah, that a human held Ohel is an Ohel. It's chotzetz. Similarly, natun al arba kelim. You have this nidvach. You have this big stone, and it's placed on 4 kelim. Afilu klei glalim, even if it's a kli of glalim, of manure, klei avanim, a rock kli adama, kli kelim that are not makabel tuma. Okay, so it's placed on these kelim. Let's say I put the rock on kelim, on my salt shaker thing, and so it's potech tefach, right? It's got the size of a tefach, so and there's tuma under it. So it's a temporary ohel. So the similar Mishnah says, tuma tachtav. Again, if there's tuma under it, kelim she'al gabav tmeim. The vessels on top are tamei. Tuma al gabav, kelim she'tachtav tmeim. If there's tuma on top, then it's also not chotzetz. That's exactly the same to if it's being held by people. Natun al ba'avanim, it's placed on 4 stones. Oh, davar sheyesh bo ruach chayim. If it's placed on 4 stones, or not kelim, but on stones, or on an animals, just not people, then then we're going to see it is an ohel. Tuma tachtav kelim she'agabav tahorim. If there's tuma under it, then the vessels on top are tahor. Tuma al gabav kelim she'tachtav tahorim. There's tuma on top of it, then the kelim below it are tahor. But because then it becomes these. If you have kelim, he doesn't give a picture. But if these are stones, then it becomes a regular ohel. And it's chotzeitz, it brings tuma, and it's also chotzeitz, it stops tuma. We'll stop here, dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.